Welcome, my dear one. I'm so grateful you've arrived here. Today, I'm going to share something with you that has the power to transform everything you may be struggling with. Not in some distant future, but right now, in this very moment. If you are listening to this, I know that you are someone that has been searching for a very long time for something. Answers, understanding, alignment. You may be someone who has tried so many things, yet the desires of your heart still feel so far away. You may be someone who is constantly wondering if it will ever come to pass. I want you to know that wherever you are in your journey, you are actually closer to your desired life than you think. So much closer. What if I told you that the distance between where you are and where you want to be isn't measured in time, effort, or circumstances? What if that distance is actually just a shift in consciousness, a gentle change in how you see yourself right now? Let me share with you something beautiful, something that has changed countless lives, something that will feel like coming home to a truth you've always known but perhaps forgotten. What I'm about to share with you is called the law of assumption, and it is the most powerful principle you will ever learn. My dear, one thing I want you to fully understand is that your life doesn't bend to your wishes, your goals, or even your hardest efforts. Your life bends to your assumptions, to what you genuinely believe to be true about yourself and your world. I know this might sound strange at first, so let me explain it in a way that will make sense to your heart. Right now, in this very moment, you hold certain assumptions about yourself. Maybe you assume you're the kind of person who struggles with money. Maybe you assume love is hard to find. Maybe you assume success comes easily to others, but not to you. These assumptions aren't just passing thoughts. They're the invisible foundation upon which your entire experience is built. And here's the beautiful part, the part that changes everything. You don't need to wait for your circumstances to change before you can change your assumptions. In fact, waiting for evidence is what keeps so many beautiful souls trapped in patterns they long to escape. The evidence comes after the assumption, not before. This is the secret that will set you free. Let me share with you how most of us have been taught to live. We've been told, work hard, achieve something, then feel successful. Meet someone wonderful, then feel loved. Accumulate wealth, then feel abundant. We believe we need the external thing first, and then we'll naturally embody the feeling that comes with it. But my dear, this is not the correct way to think, to process, or to plan life. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. The actual mechanism of creation, the way life truly works, operates in reverse. You must first assume the feeling of the wish that you desire to be fulfilled, and then your external world rearranges itself to match that inner state. You become wealthy in consciousness first, and wealth follows. You feel loved in your own awareness first, and love appears in your life. When you live toward something, you're constantly in a state of not having. You're always reaching, striving, hoping it will come someday. There's a tension in it, an anxiety, a feeling of incompleteness that follows you everywhere. But when you live from the end, when you live from the end, you mentally inhabit the state of already having what you desire. You think from that place, you feel from that place, you move through your day as someone who already possesses what they want. There's a peace in it, a quiet knowing, a sense of completion that changes everything. I'm going to share with you something that might challenge what you've always believed, but I want you to stay with me because this truth will change everything in your life in the most beautiful of ways. Your circumstances do not create your consciousness. Your consciousness creates your circumstances. I know that everything happening in your life right now feels very real. Your bank account shows a specific number. Your relationship is in a struggle. Your health presents certain challenges. These things feel like hard, unchangeable facts, and I do not want to dismiss what you're experiencing. But here's what you need to understand, and please let this sink deep into your heart. These circumstances are not your reality. They're just the current expression of your consciousness. They're the shadow, not the substance. Your true reality is the state of consciousness you inhabit right now, and that you can change. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine two people sitting next to each other on a bus. Both have the same amount of money in their pockets. Both face similar challenges. But one lives in a consciousness of lack, constantly worried, feeling the squeeze of never having enough, assuming money is hard to come by. The other lives in a consciousness of abundance, feeling secure, trusting that they're always provided for, assuming opportunities always appear. Though it may appear that their circumstances are the same, there are two completely different versions of consciousness at play, and with each consciousness actively creating their future experience in every single moment, their external realities will begin to diverge dramatically in the very near future. Why? Because it is one of the principal laws of the universe. This is why I can tell you with absolute certainty, you are not trapped by your circumstances. You are only ever trapped by your consciousness of those circumstances. And your consciousness, that's something you can change right now. So what exactly is the assumption I keep speaking of? Let me explain it in the simplest way. An assumption is a belief you hold about reality that you accept as true without needing proof. This is also often referred to as faith. When you truly assume something, you don't question it. You don't seek validation for it. You don't worry about whether it's real. You simply accept it as fact and live from that acceptance. And here's where the power lies. Whatever you persistently assume to be true with feeling eventually becomes fact in your experience. Not because of magic or mysterious forces, but because your consciousness is the creative power in your life, and your assumptions direct that power. This is the universal law of assumption at work. For a moment, I want you to think about how you already use assumption every day. You assume the sun will rise tomorrow. You assume the chair will hold you when you sit. You assume your heart will keep beating. You don't worry about these things or demand proof. You simply assume them, and your assumption is reflected in your complete confidence and peace of mind. Now here's what I want you to consider. What if you brought that same level of assumption to your deepest desires? What if you assumed your success with the same certainty you assume the sun will rise? What if you assumed you were loved with the same naturalness that you assume your heart beats? This is the practice I'm inviting you into, to assume the fulfillment of your desire with such complete conviction that you cease to seek it, worry about it, or question it. You simply live from the knowing that it's already yours. This is living by the law of assumption. Next, I want to spend a little time talking about your imagination, because it is important that you fully understand just what it is and the power it holds. Your imagination isn't just a daydreaming tool. It's also not fantasy or escapism or idle wishing. Your imagination is the sacred workshop where your future is lovingly constructed. everything that exists in your physical world was first imagined. The device you're reading this on, the home you live in, the relationships you cherish, all of it existed as imagination before it became tangible reality. Someone saw it in their mind's eye first, felt it, believed in it, and then it appeared. And here's what I want you to really understand. What you're imagining right now, in this very moment, is actively creating your future experience. Not someday, not eventually, right now. But there's a specific way to use your imagination that activates the law of assumption, and I want to share it with you because it changes everything. You must imagine from the end, not toward it. Let me explain the difference. Imagining toward the end means you picture yourself working hard, overcoming obstacles, finally achieving your goals somewhere in the future. You imagine the process, the journey, the struggle. And while this might feel productive, it actually keeps you locked in a consciousness of not having, of seeking, of working towards something that remains forever just out of reach. Imagining from the end means you bypass all of that. You imagine the moment after your desire is fulfilled. You construct a simple, natural scene that implies your wish has already become true in your life. You hear what you would hear, feel what you would feel, see what you would see if your desire were already an accomplished fact in your life. For instance, if you desire financial freedom, don't imagine earning money or getting a promotion. Instead, imagine the quiet satisfaction of paying a bill without any concern at all. Imagine the naturalness of checking your bank balance and feeling completely secure and at peace. Imagine a friend asking how you're doing financially and hearing yourself respond with genuine contentment in your voice. Or perhaps you desire a loving relationship. Don't imagine the first date or the pursuit or even trying to win someone's affection. Instead, imagine a moment months into the relationship. Imagine the comfortable intimacy of a quiet evening together, the kind where no words are needed. Imagine hearing your partner express their love for you in a way that feels so natural, so real. Imagine the feeling of being completely cherished and safe. The scene should be simple, short, and natural, something that would actually happen if your desire were fulfilled. Make it sensory, make it real, make it personal to you, and most importantly, make it feel like it's happening right now, not in some distant future. Here is something that you can try this week. A daily rhythm, so to speak, for making assumption a living reality in your life. It isn't complicated, but it does require your gentle, consistent attention. Consider the moment you open your eyes each morning to be a sacred time. In those first few minutes of consciousness, before your mind fills with worries and to-do lists and all the concerns of the day, your mind is most receptive, most open, most malleable. It's like fresh soil ready for planting, and it is a golden opportunity for you to create and to manifest. Instead of immediately reaching for your phone or thinking about all of the worries of the day, I want you to spend 3 to 5 minutes living in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, any wish. Don't think about how it will happen or when it will come. Don't worry about the details. Simply assume it has already happened and rest in that feeling. If you desire health, feel the vitality and strength flowing through your body. If you desire love, feel the warmth of being cherished and held dear by someone. If you desire success, feel the quiet confidence of someone who knows they've accomplished something meaningful. Let this feeling gently saturate your consciousness before you start your day. You're not trying to manufacture intense emotion or force yourself to feel a certain way. You're simply, gently assuming the natural feeling that would be present if your desire were already fulfilled. It's soft, it's peaceful, it's certain. As you move through your day, you may feel tempted to return to your old patterns of thought. Your senses will present evidence that seems to contradict your new assumption. Your mind will want to calculate, worry, and doubt. This is completely natural, and you're not doing anything wrong when this happens. This is simply where the practice deepens, where you become stronger. Every time you catch yourself thinking from the old state of lack or limitation, I want you to pause just for a moment and gently redirect yourself to your new assumption. There's no force needed, no struggle, just a gentle correction, like guiding a small child back to the right path. If you find yourself worrying about money, pause and remind yourself with kindness, that's not my reality anymore. My reality is abundance. I am someone who is always provided for, always cared for. Then feel that assumption, even if just for a few seconds. If you find yourself feeling lonely or unloved, pause and remind yourself with compassion, that's not my reality anymore. My reality is love. I am someone who is deeply valued, deeply cherished. Then inhabit that feeling for just a moment. You're training your consciousness, training it gently, patiently, to dwell in your desired state rather than your current circumstances. This isn't denial of what's happening around you. It's a conscious redirection of your attention. You're choosing which state to energize with your awareness, which reality to feed with your focus. And in the evening, before you fall asleep each night, take just a few gentle moments to review your day. But here's the beautiful practice I want to share with you. Don't review it exactly as it happened. Review it as it would have been if you were living completely from your fulfilled state. If something happened during the day that contradicted your assumption, if you received a bill that worried you, if you felt rejected or overlooked, if you experienced lack in any form, don't replay it as it was. Instead, replay it as you wish it had been. Imagine paying that bill with ease and peace. Imagine being recognized and appreciated. Imagine experiencing abundance. Let your mind rewrite the scene until it aligns with your assumption. This isn't self-deception. This is consciousness training. You're teaching your mind, gently, lovingly, to dwell in the state you choose, not the state your circumstances suggest. You're becoming the director of your own inner experience. Then, as you drift off to sleep each night, rest in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Let that be the last thing your consciousness touches before you enter sleep. This is so important because your mind is especially receptive during this threshold state, and what you impress upon it now takes root and grows in ways you can't even imagine. Now, I want to share with you something else that is very important for you to learn. Something that makes all the difference between those who successfully live from their assumption and those who struggle. Your subconscious mind, that vast, powerful part of you that actually creates your experience, doesn't respond to words or visualizations alone. It responds to feeling. It responds to the emotional tone of your assumption. Your feelings are the key to unlocking everything your heart desires. Most people tend to fail at this practice because they imagine without feeling. They visualize their desires as future possibilities, as things they hope will happen someday, rather than present realities. But the subconscious only knows now. It only accepts what feels real now, in this moment. When you assume your desire is already fulfilled and you feel from that assumption, really feel it in your body, in your heart, in your being, your subconscious accepts it as fact. It doesn't argue. It doesn't judge. It doesn't distinguish between what you're imagining and what you're experiencing physically. It simply accepts what is impressed upon it with feeling and begins to work quietly and powerfully to make your assumption visible in your outer world. This is why I encourage you to drop into feeling. Feel what it would be like if your desire were already fulfilled. Not the excitement of getting it or achieving it in the future, but the naturalness, the quiet satisfaction, the peace of already having it. Stay in that feeling. Live from it. Let it become your natural state. Now, it is important for you to know that you cannot assume two states simultaneously. You cannot live in the assumption that your desire is fulfilled while simultaneously preparing for failure. You cannot assume abundance while hoarding out of fear. You cannot assume you are loved while building walls around your heart to protect yourself from rejection. You cannot serve two states of consciousness. One must die. The old state, the old you who doubted, who waited, who tried so hard but never quite believed it could really happen, that version must be gently released. Not suppressed, not pushed down, not fought against, released. The consciousness of lack, of limitation, of maybe someday, it must be lovingly let go. I know this might feel scary because that old self has been with you for a long time. It's familiar. It's comfortable in its own way, even if it's painful. But my dear, you cannot grow into your new self while clinging to the old one. There is no plan B in assumption. There is no backup consciousness. You must, with love and with courage, release the bridge to the old state. You must make your new assumption your only reality. From this moment forward, you are the one who assumes. You are the one who lives from the end. You are the one who possesses in consciousness what the world might call impossible. The release of the old way of thinking and feeling is not a loss. It is a liberation. It is indeed the emergence of who you've always been meant to be. Here are some words, or better yet, some declarations that will help anchor this new identity within you. These aren't just affirmations to repeat mindlessly. These are truths to embody, to feel, to become. Say them with me and really feel them as you speak. I do not wish, I assume. I do not want, I have. I do not hope, I know. I do not wait, I dwell. I do not become, I am. It is done, and I live from the end. Feel these words settle into your consciousness like seeds in fertile soil. Let them take root. Let them grow. These aren't statements about who you hope to become. These are declarations of who you are right now. You are no longer the person who seeks. You are the one who has found. You are no longer the person who wants. You are the one who possesses. You are no longer the person who waits anxiously. You are the one who dwells peacefully in fulfillment. Know this, when you finish saying these words, something will be different about you. You'll stand differently. You'll walk differently. You'll speak differently. You'll carry yourself with a quiet knowing that wasn't there before. Walk like it's done. Not like it might happen someday. Not like you hope it will happen. Like it's already accomplished and you're simply moving through a world that's catching up to your inner reality. Change your posture right now. Sit up a little straighter. Take a deep breath. Feel the quiet confidence of someone who knows their good is secure in consciousness. Feel how peaceful it is. Feel how certain it is. This is your new normal. This is how you move through the world from now on. as the one who already possesses what they desire. Let people wonder what's changed about you. Let them sense the shift in your presence. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to convince anyone. You simply live from your assumption and let your world gently conform. I'm going to ask something of you, and I do so with great care and great hope for your transformation. For the next 5 days, I want you to choose one specific desire, something meaningful to you, something that would genuinely improve your life and bring you joy. Just one thing for now. Every morning, assume it is already yours. Live from that assumption for the entire day. Every evening, revise your day to align with that assumption. Every night, fall asleep in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Don't worry about the how. Don't calculate the when. Don't try to make it happen through effort alone. Simply assume it's already done and live from that state of consciousness. Test the law of assumption. Prove it in your own experience. I'm not asking you to believe me blindly. I'm asking you to try it for yourself and see what happens. And if you find your old doubts creeping back in, be gentle with yourself. Come back to these words. Come back to your assumption. Come back to the feeling. This is a practice, not a perfection. Every time you return to your assumption, you're strengthening it, deepening it, making it more real. My dear, you are so much more powerful than you've been led to believe. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are not at the mercy of fate or chance or other people's decisions. You are the creative power in your own life. Your imagination, directed by your assumptions, is the force that shapes your reality. The version of you who doubted, who waited, who needed proof before believing, they were never real. You dreamed them. And now you can dream yourself differently. Dream yourself as the one who already has what you desire. Assume it, feel it, live from it. Your new life doesn't begin someday when everything falls into place. Your new life begins the moment you assume it's already yours. I believe in you. I believe in the power that lives within you. I believe you're ready for this transformation. Now go, walk as the one you've been waiting to become, because here's the beautiful truth. You already are that person. You've always been that person. You were just waiting for permission to claim it. Consider this your permission. Consider this your invitation. Consider this your awakening to who you truly are.